2025 was a great year for music, and to celebrate the year coming to an end, I'm ranking 100 of the biggest albums from 2025. Some of these were big on the charts, some were big in internet circles, all of them made an impact, and I'm gonna rank them for you, cause I like you. I would say this is just my own personal ranking, and you shouldn't get too mad if we disagree, and while that is true, we should also be honest here. Getting irrationally heated is like half the point of your endless season. So I will also say, if you are gonna disagree, please don't be mean about it. These albums are in chronological order, roughly, like when they came out this year. I've got different tiers here as well. I'll explain them as we go. First up, we have Bad Bunny's Debí Tirar Más Fotos. I'm gonna put this straight into full listen. I think Bad Bunny gets better with every single album that he puts out. I think you could honestly argue that he's like the defining pop star of the 2020s at this point, maybe up there with like Morgan Wallen and Taylor Swift, of course. But I also feel like Bad Bunny's just more of a global presence than definitely Morgan Wallen and maybe even Taylor Swift is. I think this project is his best yet, and I think specifically Nueva Yol is like one of the best bangers of the year. I would recommend anyone out there listen to this album fully at least once. Then we've got Ethel Cain's Perverts. This one is tricky to me, honestly, because on one hand, I really love Ethel Cain. I loved Preacher's Daughter. I'm gonna have a lot of positive words to say about the other album she put out this year, but Perverts is an almost entirely ambient album. It almost feels like a sort of screw you to all of the people who found her on TikTok and then started to like, you know, kind of warp her music and her persona and what she was trying to do. So I think that's funny, you know. I'm all about trolling people in that way. On the other hand, it's ambient music, and I personally, I'm just not a fan of ambient music. It's just not what I gravitate towards, and I can't really see myself returning to this project. I think it's well made for sure. I'm not trying to say that it's not well made. It's just, I don't think I'm gonna return to it much, and I don't really have strong feelings about it. So I'm gonna put it in not for me, which does not mean that the album is bad. It just simply means I didn't respond to it that strongly personally. But who knows, you might like it if you're into ambient music. Then Mac Miller's Balloonerism. I'm always really concerned about posthumous projects. I'm always worried that they're just gonna like take the artist's persona and then just like use it to make more money. We've definitely seen examples of that in the past couple of years. But the last Mac Miller album, the first one that was posthumous, Circles in 2020, I thought that was a really good record. I really liked how John Bryan finished that up. And I think it's one of Mac's best albums, even though sadly he wasn't around to see it. Even with that, I was worried about Balloonerism, but it turns out that it's basically Circles, but if it was produced by Thundercat and his brother. I think it's got some excellent jams on it. I think Mac sounds excellent on it as well. I think this project originated back in like 2013, 2014, so it's been in the vault for a while, and I'm happy that it's out here and that it sounds as good as it does. I'm gonna put this in full listen. Then we've got the Weather Station's Humanhood. I only really started paying attention to the Weather Station after her record from, oh, what was it, 2021, 2022, that I thought was really good. And I enjoyed this one as well. I specifically love the song Neon Signs, which I think is either the opener or it's the like first proper track after the intro. And the rest of the album was really well done. I thought it was really luscious and just, yeah, sounded excellent and was a good time. I think though, I am gonna put it in some excellent songs. This is the tier where I wouldn't recommend a full-on listen for anyone out there, but I would recommend specific songs. And in this case, I would recommend Neon Signs. I Sexua, You Sexua, He, She, Me, Sexua. This is such an interesting one, FKA Twigs' You Sexua, because it is a good album, and yet I don't remember much of it. And I think that's specifically because it came out in January, which is so long ago at this point. That is nearly a year ago. I am personally a huge fan of FKA Twigs. I loved LP1, I love Magdalene. Capra Songs was good too, and I liked the idea behind this record, though it was a little confusing to me. I think it's like, it's inspired by rave music, but it's not necessarily rave music. It's like the feeling that raves and clubs give FKA Twigs.
We've been very clear from the start, this isn't a club album, this isn't a rave album, this is an album about how those spaces make me feel.
Which I guess I can kind of get behind, but it's a little confusing. Then you listen to the music and it's like, it is dance music, you know what I mean? It might be like inspired by the club and it might be evoking stronger feelings than just specifically being a rave or a club album, but like it sounds like rave and club music. It does, but through that FKA Twigs lens. I know there was like the title track and Perfect Stranger and Striptease. There were definitely some good songs on here. The record just didn't survive with me for the whole year, which I feel like is a reason why I would put it in full listen. But like, I know the album is good and there are specific songs I would recommend off it, so I am gonna put this in some excellent songs. I feel like someone's gonna kill me for that. Then we've got Rebecca Black's Salvation. Rebecca Black's been doing some interesting stuff lately. Remember her? She was the Friday girl, and now she's doing like alternative synth pop out here. And like, some of it slaps a lot. I'm specifically thinking for this project, 2 songs which were Trust and especially Sugar Water Cyanide. Those are both outstanding tracks. I'm gonna put this in some excellent songs. Then we've got The Weeknd's Hurry Up Tomorrow. It's the conclusion of this trilogy that Abel's been working on since After Hours and then Dawn FM. I think this is just as well made as those other 2 albums. The only thing though is that I just think it's too long for its own good. Especially once you get to that last third, it just slows down too much for my liking. And maybe you could argue that it makes sense for this project because, Hurry Up Tomorrow I think is going to be like the conclusion of The Weeknd, like that project. Kind of feels like a funeral and like a slowing down, but I don't know. I prefer it when he's able to balance like the bangers, but also the slow stuff a little bit more. I thought After Hours and Dawn FM did a better job of that than this project. I think the most poetic thing I can say about this album is back in 2021, when the Grammys came out and After Hours didn't get nominated for anything, it sent everybody into a tizzy. Abel was going to boycott the Grammys. Then this past year, they had Abel and Playboi Carti come back and perform Timeless, and it was like, they've made up. And now going into the 2026 Grammys, Hurry Up Tomorrow did not get nominated for anything. And the biggest reaction I've seen online about that has been like, okay. I think that kind of sums it up. I will also mention too, I still have not seen the movie, but it does have the funny bit where Abel's like, shut the f up. So, I'll get on that eventually. I'm sure that's a fun time in a lot of ways, maybe in some ways that Abel did not intend. But yeah, I'm gonna put this in some excellent songs. I'm thinking of like Open Hearts and Baptized in Fear and Sao Paulo. I really like that one. Weird ass music video though. I don't know what the f Abel was thinking with that one, but there are definitely some good songs on here and it's worth checking those out. Oh boy, we've got OK Lou's Choke Enough. And just so you know, her name is pronounced OK Lou. And I wanna go on the record and say I have never mispronounced OK Lou in any video of mine. Waluigi, Lord, Aklu, Twigs. This is gonna be the first album I put in Album of the Year. This is Album of the Year territory for me. Just so you know too, when I put albums in the Album of the Year category, they're not going to be like listed in order because I also do a top 10 albums video every year and that's gonna be coming later. So this isn't really spoilers for, exactly where everything's gonna go. I also might put more than 10 albums in this category, you know what I mean? So there's still a lot of guesswork that can happen. But yeah, I think this OK Lou record was absolutely phenomenal. It's so intricately made with all the different ambient elements, but also some Y2K influence in there as well. And it's just so, I hate using this term, but like forward thinking, you know what I mean? Even though it also pulls from the 2000s, so like, I guess by definition, it is not forward thinking, but sometimes you've got to go back to the future, or in this case, forward to the past. You know what I mean? I'm thinking specifically of the song Take Me by the Hand with Blade. I think that is an absolutely gorgeous song, but I think the whole album is like front to back stacked with excellent, excellent songs. This definitely deserves to be in the Album of the Year category. And now let's do the complete opposite. Party Next Door and Drake, $XC, $ongs for you. This album, I'm really surprised that this is what Drake came back with after the whole Kendrick feud and Not Like Us and all that sort of stuff. Like, why this? I don't know what the thinking was there. Maybe he just wanted to brush it off entirely and just pretend it didn't happen, but like, we remember. Pepperidge Farm remembers, you know what I mean, Drake? I'm gonna put this in Not For Me. I feel like the one song I could recommend off this project is Nokia, which I think is a good song. It proves that Drake can still make good songs, but like, yeah, I really can't recommend anything else off of this album. And I just remember too, this is the frickin' I Wanna Meet Your Padre. That song is on this project.
I want to meet your madre, pay my respects to your padre, mi amor.
What the hell was that? That was so silly. Yeah, this definitely deserves to be a Not For Me. People Watching by Sam Fender. Sam Fender is really coming up, and I think he's an excellent songwriter. He writes stuff that is very evocative of like working class families and like Bruce Springsteen and stuff like that. that, but there is still this like epic swell of emotion behind it all. Also, specifically for this record, one of the main producers is Adam Granduciel from The War on Drugs, who is Bay to me. Do people still say Bay? I don't know. I'm gonna bring it back for 2026. So because of Adam Granduciel, this should immediately go up into album of the year, but I think I'm gonna put it in full listen. Tate McRae, So Close to What? Tate McRae has also been having a pretty good year. I like that she's carved out her own niche with, you know, the dancing and the, I feel like it is the dancing, but I guess there's also like a, you know, an aura that's evocative of like Britney Spears and some of those 2000s era pop stars. I don't know if I love every single song off the project, but I do love specifically Revolving Door. I think that is like one of the best pop songs of the year. And if she keeps making more songs as good as that, I think she's got a bright future ahead of her. I'm gonna put this in some excellent songs. Lisa's Alter Ego. Am I about to piss off all of the K-pop stans watching this? No, just kidding. I like this album well enough, though I'm specifically thinking of the songs Born Again. I think that is an excellent song. I'm also thinking of, isn't there a song that like interpolates Kiss Me by Sixpence None the Richer? I would recommend those two songs. I think the rest of the album is fine. I'm gonna put this in some excellent songs. Dark Side's Nothing. Okay, remember a couple of years back when like everybody was losing their mind over that Against All Logic album that was pseudonym for Nicholas Jarre, the composer, and people were losing their minds over it? I like that album well enough, but for me personally, I'm always going to love his work with Dark Side more. And I think Nothing might be their best album to date. So ornately made, I love all the details inside of it. I think it's an excellent album. I think I'm gonna put this as our first on repeat, which is kind of like an honorable mention for the album of the year category. These are the albums that I've played on repeat throughout this year. Wolfpack's Clarity of Cal. You know what? I feel like I'm about to betray some people here, and perhaps even my own past self. I thought this one was just fine. I think a lot of the Wolfpack records at this point are them just kind of going through the motions and doing their thing, which is lovely stuff. Like they're still excellent at what they do, but it's just like every record just has like a slight difference on it, and I find it hard to find one that stands out. I do think that the record is fine, so I'm putting it in just it's fine. These are the albums that like I listened to once, I liked or didn't hate, and I don't really have any strong feelings beyond that. Jenny's Ruby. This is also interesting too because it's like an example of where this rating system kind of like falters a little bit. I thought that this record overall was a very good time. I really liked it. However, there are two songs on it that I think are nearly perfect. They are Like Jenny, with her doing an owl impersonation. Don't borrow tickets in the cars. And Love Hangover with Dominic Fike. I think those two songs together are some of the best pop songs of the year. And while I would suggest that you listen to all of Ruby, I am specifically thinking of those two songs. I am recommending those two songs to you first over the full album. And for that reason, I'm gonna put this in some excellent songs. I also like the fact that I'm putting Lisa and Jenny together in the same place. So that way, none of the K-pop stans will kill me if I'm putting one over the other. Maybe they'll all team up and kill me because I'm not putting them in album of the year. We'll have to see. Lady Gaga's Mayhem. Oh boy, this one's going in album of the year too. I think this is her best album that she's ever done. I love all of the songs on here. I like how she pulls from her past, from the Fame Monster and the Born This Way days, while also updating the sound and giving it a more modern feel. And some of the newer sounding stuff she does also sounds excellent, like Killa and Perfect Celebrity, oh my God, and Zombie Boy. Like all of the deep cuts are really good too. And then of course you have like Disease and Abracadabra with the, you know, the Gangnam Style dance that she does at one point. I think this is one of the year's best albums, and I'm so happy it's going in album of the year. Clipping's Dead Channel Sky. I love Clipping, and I love listening to their albums and hearing Daveed Diggs rap and scare me, even though he's also like in Hamilton and in like a bunch of other like, you know, things meant for children. I love a man with range. What can I say? This continues the horrorcore sound that they've been doing for a while now, I feel like, right? Like at least half a decade, with Visions of Bodies being burned and There Existed and Addiction to Blood, which records that I both really enjoy. I think this one is just as good, but I also like the cyberpunk approach that they took on it as well. It like changes things up just enough. And also some of the hooks are just excellent, like Welcome Home Warrior and Change the Channel and Mirror Shades. Like it's such a good album that like tickles my brain in just the right ways. Ooh, is this gonna be on repeat or full listen? You You know what? I'm feeling positive. It's going in on repeat. Playboi Carti's music. I feel like for the longest time, this was like the Duke Nukem Forever of music, or maybe actually more relevant since it just came out, Metroid Prime 4. It's the Metroid Prime 4 of music. And I feel like with projects like this, when they take so long, they come out and it's just like, is it ever truly worth the wait? Like, is it ever truly a like timeless classic? Or, I mean, it happens every so often, but it's like, it's not usually the thing. You just have to take it on its own terms at that point of like, whatever it is, it is. I thought this record was fine. I haven't really gone back to it since. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna put it in, it's fine. Japanese Breakfast for Melancholy Brunettes and Sad Women. Does anyone remember this album? I mean, I remember listening to it and liking it well enough, you know? I also remember I saw Japanese Breakfast live when I was out at the Project Paps Festival in Portland, Oregon. She was very good, very, very good time. I also remember too, the one time I remember thinking of this record recently was when the Grammy nominations came out and it was nominated in the most important category, Best Engineered Album Non-Classical. It is a very nice sounding album. I just don't really remember much of it, though I do remember like, I didn't hate it or anything like that. I'm gonna put it in, it's fine. Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco, I Said I Love You First. This one was also fine too, you know? I'm happy for them though, right? Selena and Benny. Did they get married recently? Let me check that real quick. Yeah, they got married in September. Good for them. Yeah, I'm happy for them. I hope them, I wish them the best. I think the album is just fine. I remember Bluest Flame was a bit of a bop though, even if it was very, very, very Charlie XCX inspired. I'm gonna put this in, it's fine. Def Heaven's Lonely People with Power. Def Heaven is interesting to me because it's like, I feel like I automatically pigeonhole them into the Sunbather hole, I guess, the Sunbather spa, if you will. But I remember Sunbather came out and it was like such an incredible record that like mixed the metal with the shoegaze. And what's cool too is that Def Heaven's been doing good work ever since. Like I remember New Bermuda was a good album. And this one I think might be my favorite that they've done since Sunbather. I think it's really well made. I think it sounds excellent. That's actually a trend with a lot of the metal albums this year. They were like mixed and produced so cleanly and so beautifully, like it actually boggled my mind. But I'm gonna say for this album, I'm gonna put it in full listen. I think it really is an excellent metal record. Destroyer's Dan's Boogie. Is that grammatically correct? It's Dan's Boogie by Destroyer. You know what I mean? Just grammar lessons with Mike. I know people always mention Kaput as like his defining record, but for me, the record I love by him, Poison Season, back in 2015. If you want to hear an amazing song, go check out Dream Lover, and I guarantee you within the first millisecond, you will love that song. I liked Dan's Boogie a lot because it evoked that sound of Poison Season with a lot more natural instrumentation and horns specifically. Loads of horns. But yeah, I really enjoyed Dan's Boogie front to back. I remember specifically Sun Meets Snow was like a specific highlight. So if there's one song you want to check off this project, that would be a great place to start. I'm gonna put this in full listen, screw it. Great Grandpa Patience Moonbeam. Watch me work my magic. Get this? Ready? Ready? Bam, right there. This album has stuck with me all year. I think it is a beautiful record. I think it's a very diverse record. I love all the instrumentation. I love the different twists and turns that the album takes you on. I think it's very much an album that is guided by musical feel rather than structure, and I love that sort of stuff. I love when albums tell their story more through like the feel of like, oh, maybe, you know, the band will play here and then stop, or like, oh, we'll move sections around like this. We won't do just like conventional song structures. I really like that sort of stuff. I'm thinking like Junior and Doom and Ladybug and Task and Ephemera and Kid. Front to back, it is one of my favorite albums of the year, and it deserves that album of the year spot. Absolutely. Lucy Dacus, Forever is a Feeling. First off, I love Lucy Dacus. I think her albums are phenomenal. I also was in the same room as Lucy Dacus for a bit earlier this year. It was for the Springsteen biopic with Jeremy Allen White. And yeah, she happened to be there as well. And that was a very lovely event. And so I'm a little sorry that I'm doing this, Lucy. Again, I love your work and I love what you've done with Boy Genius and everything else. I'm gonna put this record in, it's fine. I think it's good. I think it is a good record. I don't think Lucy Dacus could make a bad record. I think this one just didn't really resonate with me that strongly. And I think a particular reason why, and again, this is on me, there were two specific periods this year where a lot of things were just overwhelming me to the point where I fell behind on keeping up with new releases. And so I don't really have a connection to this album just because it came out at a It was poor timing. And again, that's not necessarily to blame on her end or her labels. It's just like, I was going through it when this album came out in, I think it was like late March, early April. Life happens like that, you know what I mean? I wasn't at a good place in life to receive this blessing, you know what I mean? So maybe at some point I'll go back and listen and I'll enjoy it, but for now I'd have to put it in, it's fine. I'm sorry. Perfume Genius's Glory. Man, I like Perfume Genius. And I didn't really click with this record. I thought it was fine. Specifically the song No Front Teeth with Aldous Harding. I thought that was an excellent song. The rest of the album I thought was just okay. I'm sorry. Maybe I'll go back and listen to it and I'll think differently of it. But for now, I'm gonna put it in, it's fine. F you, Skrillex. You think you're Andy Warhol, but you're not. On an unrelated note, Skrillex dropped an album this year. I have not kept up with Skrillex really that much as like a solo artist. You know, like I've known his production work on other things, but like this was the first time I've checked out a Skrillex album in full in a while, and I enjoyed it a lot. Granted, a lot of the production does feel like, I mean, it pulls heavily from dubstep because that's, you know, what Skrillex is known for. And so there are definitely some dated feeling production elements on it. I'm also specifically thinking of the one time where there is an honest to God, possibly ironic drop where a guy goes, "Damn son, where'd you find this?"
Damn son, where'd you find this?
And that made me freaking howl. I loved that so much, but I was also like, oh my God, am I watching dank meme Vine compilations again? Jesus Christ. But like other specific songs like Murchie Test, Hold On, Korabu, G2G, Voltage is on here, and I didn't realize until after I listened to this that there's a whole story around that particular song. Like it was lost on a laptop for ages, and then it finally came back. So I think that's excellent in its own right. I think I'm gonna put this in some excellent songs. Then we've got Jane Remover, Revenge Seekers. This was the year that I found out that for my gym music, I don't actually care for early 2010s rock like Japandroids and all that sort of stuff. I love like distorted, messed up electronic pop music. It gets me going so hard. And I got that so much from Revenge Seekers. This is a damn excellent album that I like really got a lot of play out of. And I'm thinking specifically of the song that she did with Danny Brown, Psycho Boost. Psycho Boost, phenomenal song. If nothing else, you should listen to that song. I'm gonna put this in, screw it, I'm putting this in on repeat. I think it's definitely up there. It's such an excellent album. Two Hollis's Star. I remember I listened to this album when it came out. I have not listened to it much since, but I did remember liking it. Two Hollis is kind of in that same realm as a Jane Remover, but also kind of like Blade and Yeet and kind of in that same style. But I enjoyed this record for what it was. Damn, you know what? It's funny. I was initially thinking this was gonna be a full listen, but I really have not checked it out much, if at all, since it came out. So I'm like, do I trust myself here? But I'm also feeling differently now. Like maybe it's more of a, it's fine. You know what I mean? And you know what? I have been leaning kind of positive with some of these records when I have to make the split decisions. I think I'm gonna go against the grain for this one. I'm gonna say it's fine. It is a good time though. It is a good album, trust me. Then we've got Joe's The Crux. This one was interesting because like, I remember listening to that one Joe record that End of Beginning was on, and I like that song a good deal, and also Half-Life. I specifically like Half-Life more than End of Beginning, but that's a whole other discussion. And then this Joe album, The Crux, really surprised me because it's like kind of a continuation of that more psychedelic sound, but then he's also got like clear influence from like Fleetwood Mac and Paul McCartney, specifically on the song Charlie's Garden. Like it's a really lovely time, and I think he's matured so much as a songwriter that like, I think this is excellent. I think I'm gonna put this in full listen. It's really good. Joe Keery, you've come a long way from that one Wii U Amiibo ad.
DK's in, this is gonna be bananas.
Real quick, can I tell you all a story? Back when I was in college, there was a movie that came out, and it was called The Lego Movie. And I went to go see it with friends, and I loved it. I thought it was just going to be a giant advertisement for Lego, which in fairness it is, but it is also such a lovingly made movie, and the script is good and the jokes are excellent, and it's got a nice message at the core too. Like it is an excellent movie. And so when I was back at school the next day, I told a good friend like, oh my God, you've got to go see it. It's such a good movie, you've got to go see it. And after I said it enough times, she did eventually go see it. And then she got back to me and was like, yeah, I thought it was fine. You hyping it up kind of killed it for me, but you know, I thought it was fine. I think that the internet pulled a Lego movie on me with Ants from Up There. I think this is a good album. I think it's a great album, actually. I think it is a very well-made album. And yet there was absolutely a pocket of the internet that simply would not allow anyone to think that this was not the best album of all time. And frankly, that did diminish my enjoyment of it. I know some people might say like, oh, you should just be able to enjoy the music regardless of any outside factors, but I don't know, man, we're all human. A lot of different things influence us in a lot of ways. Like, I don't think there's a way to objectively, purely listen to music without any other consideration of the outside world and the context in which the album belongs. I think it's a lot more interesting to dive into like why an album might not resonate with you when it's about external factors unrelated to the album. So all that's to say, I think Ants from Up There is good, and I think this new Black Country New Road record, Forever How Long, is better. I really like it. I know that they've lost something without having Isaac Wood there, but honestly, what they have now in its place is so excellent. I think the songwriting is still top notch, specifically on like Besties and Two Horses. I love Two Horses. That's such a good song. And just like the whole time, it's like, I'll admit, I felt better about it because it felt like I was discovering my own enjoyment of this album for myself. I feel like I didn't get that with Ants from Up There, but I very much got it with Forever How Long. I'm putting this in on repeat. Then we got DJ Koze's Music Can Hear Us. I'm gonna be real. There is a song on here called Bush Taxi, and it's excellent. It's a really nice electronic track. It's like the third to last song on this album, and the record just takes too long to get there, to a place where I'm like, okay, I'm enjoying this. The rest of the album is well made. It's just like, it wasn't my vibe. It's like, I need something a little bit more energetic at the start to keep me going. And really, this is like a slow climb. Like, it's a slow burn up until those like last couple of songs. I feel like the Pitchfork crowd is gonna hate me for doing this, but screw it. I'm living my authentic life. I'm putting this in Not For Me. Bon Iver's Sable Fable. I know some people were lukewarm on this one, but I thought it was excellent. I think it's just as good as I, and maybe not as good as 22 a Million, but that's like one of my favorite records of the last decade. So, you know, good luck beating that one, right? But I really like the warmer feel that the album has, the more communal feel that it has, kind of continuing on from I like the constant use of Danielle Haim as like the female voice, kind of like how she was on Vampire Weekend's Father of the Bride. Interesting duology of albums where Danielle Haim is like the female character on the album. That's interesting. But like, I'm thinking of stuff like Everything Is Peaceful Love, Day One, If Only I Could Wait. It's such a well-made record, and I'm definitely putting it in on repeat. Unfortunately, I was not able to get the Bon Iver smoked salmon, but you know, next time. Also, did we ever find out if he and Kristen Milotti are a thing? Ken Carson's More Chaos. You know what I remember from this record? I remember two things. One, there are a number of songs that I like. I'm specifically thinking of Live Leak. I love the beat on that song. But also, like, there are a good number of songs in here that just like fade out. And there's not really a reason why. It's just kind of like, all right, the song has gone on long enough, let's end it. I just thought that was kind of funny. And for those two reasons, I'm putting it in some excellent songs. Samia's Bloodless. This is really good. This is a lovely, lovely folk record. I remember there was a record she had put out previously that was like my first, you know, me noticing her. I didn't get to listen to that one, sadly, but I did check this one out and I thought it was excellent. Specifically the song Bovine Excision. Phenomenal song. Phenomenal. It's not the opening track because there's one that's like technically the opener, but it's an intro. It's the first proper track and it's excellent. I really like it. I'm gonna put this one in full listen. Car Seat Headrest, The Scholars. Car Seat Headrest is such an interesting band to me because I like their music a good deal. I like Teens of Denial. I liked the remake that they did of Twin Fantasy. I will even go to bat for Making a Door Less Open, specifically the songs Can't Cool Me Down and Martin. I think those are good songs. And yet there's such a deeper well to go down with them. Like, apparently they have like, what, 4 or 5 studio albums, but then if you go on Bandcamp, there's another 10. Also, furries are involved, and I don't really understand why that is or what's going on there. But I did enjoy this new record. I thought it was good. This is a nice turn back to that long form rock that the band had become known for. I think this one is specifically a rock opera. I didn't really dig into that whole side of it. I'm not big on lore when it comes to music. I'd rather just enjoy the music part of it. But I'm thinking of songs like The Catastrophe and Equals and Gethsemane and Planet Desperation. I think there are some excellent songs on this one. Caliuchis's Sincerely. More grammar with Mike, I guess. I think Callie has been doing some phenomenal work over the past couple of years, and I think this record has also been quite excellent. It's very much her take on like a Lana Del Rey inspired sound, to the point where I think one of the songs on here interpolates $1 Million Man by Lana. I'm gonna put this one in full listen. Sleep Token, Even in Arcadia. Woo! There were, I think, 3 bands this year that got people into a tizzy about whether rock was saved or needs saving. And it was Geese, Turnstile, and Sleep Token. Though I guess they were more metal, but I'm putting them under the rock umbrella for right now. Also because they don't really say that they belong to a genre in general. They're very fluid. And you listen to this album and that's definitely true. Like there are definitely metal elements on it. There's also EDM production and orchestration and a song that outright sounds like Justin Bieber's Yummy.
You got that yummy, that yummy.
I wouldn't say that the whole record appealed to me, and I also know that like even for fans of the band, this is not their best, but I don't know, there were songs off of it that I liked, like Emergence and Damocles. And more than anything, I am kind of glad that they're around because I think it is cool to have these bands that are willing to experiment in this way and to show what's possible, even if the experiments don't always work out. They're kind of like Jacob Collier in that way, which may inspire you to hate Sleep Token even more, but I'm glad they're around. I'm gonna put this in some excellent songs. Pink Pantheress's Fancy That. How About You Fancy being an album of the year? I thought this was phenomenal. I think Pink Panther is kind of like Bad Bunny, gets better with each project that she does. And this new project of hers was absolutely phenomenal. It is up there with being one of the best pop albums of the year. I know Illegal was the song that like everybody was loving and became the big TikTok meme, but my favorite was Tonight. Tonight is one of the best pop songs of the year, and I am crestfallen. I am sullen. I am adjectives about it not being a bigger hit. I am so happy to put that in album of the year. And on the complete opposite end of the spectrum now, Arcade Fire's Pink Elephant. If you have not seen my best of the year awards video, spoiler alert, this album won the Pregnant Goat Award for least necessary album. I know, right? You have no questions about that name. This was such a disappointment, man. It was like a more lo-fi sound for the band, a little bit more synth heavy, but it just felt so like there was no energy to it. And that's what I go to Arcade Fire for, is energy and like life-affirming music and just like this massive upswell of emotion. And it's cool if they're experimenting with other stuff. Like I'm not saying they can't experiment. This was just not it for me at all. And so in accordance, it is going in not for me. Then we've got Billy Woods with an album that I can't say the name of because it's a slur. This one is interesting because it's very much horrorcore-like clipping, but it's way denser. There are like no hooks on it at all. It's very much about the production and the mood that it creates, and it's a challenging listen. I'm not gonna say that it's not. It can be really hard to get through it and to keep your focus on it, unless you're already into like horrorcore rap, in which case you'll probably love this. This I'm gonna be like a little bit tricky on. I'm gonna do some SSX tricks on it. No one clip that, please. I'm gonna put this in It's Fine, but if you are a fan of horrorcore rap, specifically like the clipping stuff, and you're cool with that kind of music without any hooks, this would get bumped up to a full listen. Morgan Wallen's I'm the Problem. Yes, you are. The thing is almost 2 hours long. It's so freaking long. I'm sure that there's like 1 or 2 good songs on the album just by like playing the sheer numbers game, and also the fact that like I do think Morgan Wallen is a good songwriter. Like he can write good songs, but God, there was just so much excess on this album. It's not even an album at that point. It's just basically a giant playlist, and then you take the 1 or 2 songs you like, and then you never listen to it again. This is so going and not for me. I did not care for this at all. Next up is Swan's Birthing. I feel like I have a weird relationship with this band where like, listen, I came up in college radio. I like The Seer. I like To Be Kind. I just have a very difficult time of like continuing my engagement with this band as I'm an adult. And I don't really know why that is. There's a creator by the name of K-Bash who had a line that I'm gonna paraphrase about this band. They make the kind of music that you have to drown yourself in, and real life does a good enough job of that already. With that said, I think this new album is apparently the last of their big sound era, if you will. I think it sounds nice. There were some good songs too, like Rope Away and I Am a Tower. I don't know, man. I just struggle to really feel any strong connection with this album, but I'm sure some people out there will very much enjoy it, and I'm happy for them. For me, I'm putting it in, it's fine. Yule's Evangelical Girl is a Gun. Big year for different things being a gun. Honestly, I feel like a different year this would have stood out to me more, or I would have connected with it more, but I feel like we had so many different alternative synth pop albums from all the different people this year that I just don't necessarily know what I got out of this one. I'm not saying it's a bad album by any means, it's just I don't have that like next level personal connection with it. But I imagine some of you out there will, kind of like the Swans thing, where it's like, I'm not clicking with it on a deeper level, but I'm sure some of you out there will. I'm gonna put it in, it's fine. Ooh, Matt Berninger's Get Sunk. Matt Berninger is also someone that I stood behind at one point this year for that same Power Station Springsteen gig that I did. And he did a selfie with all of us, including me, which means I am in Matt Berninger's camera roll. That is the greatest accomplishment of my life. Okay, so The National, my dad's, my best friends. I know people out there have weird feelings about The National after first 2 pages of Frankenstein and Laugh Track, but honestly, if you want something that sounds more like that classic National sound, like Trouble Will Find Me and High Violet, you should check out this new Matt Berninger record. It is absolutely phenomenal if you're into that sort of thing. Check out the song Bonnet of Pins specifically. That might be my favorite from the whole project. I'm gonna put this in full listen. I think it's damn good. Miley Cyrus's Something Beautiful. Why did no one tell me about this one? I thought this was just like a, Miley Cyrus record. Haha, she makes them. Haha, cool, whatever. Sean Everett is on this, who is one of my favorite producers. Someone from Always is on it. Someone from Model Actress. Adam Grant-Duchil is on it again. If Miley had just added like Britt Daniel from Spoon and Crazy Frog, this would have been like her making an album specifically for me. I think this is her best album in a while, probably since Plastic Hearts back in 2020. And it's funny too, because they're both more evocative of like a classic rock sound, but this one brings in disco and more lush orchestration. Brittany Howard is on one of the songs. I think this is probably her best album in a good while. And I'm glad we have her around too. I always enjoy the fact that she does try and experiment with new things. You know what? I'm leaning more positive on this one. I am putting it in on repeat. It's really damn good. It's really damn good. Specifically the title track. I love that song. Lil Wayne, The Carter 6, Bono feature, Lin-Manuel Miranda, Crash Bandicoot music, Weezer cover, and that's all I gotta say. Album of the year. Addison Rae's Addison. Much has been said about Addison Rae this year. This album has been very popular, especially on online spaces, and I've seen a lot of people say that they think I love this album. I've been waiting all year to talk about this, so let me get my feelings out. First off, and this is the most important thing, the songs are good. You could make the argument that this is the best pop album of the year. I think you could make the argument that it is up there for sure. And yet ever since it's come out, there's been this deeper feeling in me that for some reason I cannot just like wholeheartedly love this album. And I've been trying to figure out what exactly it is. My first thought is that I had this premonition that if I were to like wholeheartedly love this album, I would be disappointed in the future by Addison. Now you might be saying, Mike, what facts do you have to support that feeling? None. This is not a rational feeling that I'm feeling. This is very much like I don't know, it's something deeper. But also, listen, I've been to therapy. I've learned about the concept of wise mind thinking, of taking, both the rational side and the more emotional side and finding the middle ground. I know that there is no factual evidence for that feeling, and yet I feel it. So I'm trying to reckon with that as best I can. And it wouldn't be like a deep betrayal or anything. It would be like, oh, next album she says, F all the alt pop girlies, and she goes and works with Jack Antonoff or something like that. It would be, minor in the grand scheme of things. Then I was also like, this might be the first time that someone has made an album like this who is younger than me. Cause I adore Charlie XCX and Caroline Polachek and Magdalena Bay. Magdalena Bay actually might be younger than me, I don't know. But it's this is the first time where I'm engaging with an album like this, but also reckoning with my own mortality. I'm reckoning with maybe she's just not necessarily making music for me, even though I do enjoy some of the songs. And I also want to be clear, because I might clip this part out and then some people might accuse me of being misogynistic. I have a very decorated history of loving albums like this. I should, in theory, love this album. And yet there's just something that's holding me back, and I'm still frankly trying to figure out why. But I am gonna put it in full listen because, again, the songs are good. McKinley-Dixon, Magic Alive. You know what I'm remembering too? This is now entering like that June to July period, which is the second phase of this year where just a lot of life things were happening. So like McKinley-Dixon, I loved his last album. This album is very much in line with that, to the point where there is a sequel to Run, 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 which is one of my favorite songs of his. It's a really damn good album. I just didn't get to click with it at the time. I caught up with it much later, but I did really enjoy this record. I don't know if it's gonna be an album of the year for me, but I will put it in on repeat. It really is excellent. But you know what I am gonna put in album of the year? Turnstile's Never Enough. This was the second band this year that had everyone in a fervor about whether like rock music is real or if it's like a hallucination we all had at Chuck E. Cheese. Or I guess in their case, it's more like hardcore and punk. And listen, I'm not deep into those scenes. I'm not gonna try to like argue for them or like if they're like great representatives of that style. I care about good songs that make me feel feelings. So many of the songs on this project did. And here's another thing too that I'll offer to you. A lot of people have been saying like, oh, is Turnstile a punk band? Are they a hardcore band? Let me offer something else to you. What if they're the hardcore version of Sting and the Police? Listen to the song I Care and listen to how the guy sings. Is that not just the vocal timbre of Sting? Does that not just sound like how Sting sings? The songs on here are so freaking good, like Seeing Stars and the title track, and Birds, which is a hella good by No Doubt type song, which is not a knock against it. We need more songs that sound like hella good by No Doubt. I think it is an excellent record, I really do. I'm also kind of bummed because I'm imagining there are some people in the comments at this point who are wondering if I'm genuinely serious about putting the Carter 6 in Album of the Year. And, you know, personally, I'd love to keep it there, but also I know that there are people in the comments who get really mad when you're not like deeply serious about everything that you do. So instead at this point, I'm gonna put it in It's Fine. I thought like some of the stuff was goofy, like the Peanuts to an Elephant song, but like I didn't hate it or anything like that. Can I also mention on Peanuts to an Elephant, the like elephant noise that they sample sounds the same as the yell from the game Sonic Unleashed.
Like Michael Jackson and bubbles,
Like I tried to see if they sampled that, but I couldn't find any hard data. I'm almost positive it's that scream though. But yeah, it's fine. Then we've got More by Pulp. It seems like this was a good year for like these older rock bands. Oasis reunited, and that was like a huge deal. This record by Pulp, I'm not huge into Pulp personally. I've just never really taken the time to listen to them, but I did enjoy this record a good deal. I thought the strings especially were so beautiful. Like it's really excellent stuff that they did here. I am gonna put it in It's Fine territory though. Oh, this one is a bummer. Little Sims's Lotus. I love Little Sims. I think she does great work. I think this is the McKinley-Dixon thing again, where it's just like, if I was not dealing with like having to move to a new state and like change my career to doing like this full time, I probably would have had more downtime to digest this record. Sadly, I didn't. That's how life goes sometimes, but it is a very good record. Like Little Sims is phenomenal. Even that song, what was it? The one that like had the weird music video and everyone was like, what the hell is this? Again, I thought it was fun. I think artists can have fun sometimes. I'm gonna put Lotus in full listen. King Glizzy and the Lizzy Wizzy with Phantom Island. I will admit this is probably the most I've enjoyed a King Gizzard record in a while. It's like very much their usual songwriting, but like the horns and the brass and that greater orchestration works so well for them. And plus, these are some of their best arrangements they've done. Yeah, I think this is their best record in a good while. I'm gonna put this in on repeat. And I look forward to listening to the next 10 albums they put out in the next second. Benson Boone American Heart.
Moonbeam ice cream, taking off your blue jeans.
Blue jean ice cream. Blue jean ice cream. Man, I listened to this full record and like, listen, I'm not trying to hate on anybody out here. Like, I think Benson Boone is talented, and I know recently he had been doing more covers of like Adele songs, and his voice sounds great on those songs. He should do more stuff like that. This American Heart album really did not do it for me. I wish that I had gotten a better look at who he is as an artist, and this album did not give that to me at all. I am putting it in not for me. Haim, I Quit. No, you don't. There's a funny thing that happens with Haim records for me where I go into the newest one thinking that I'm gonna fall off the Haim train, and then I don't. I think it's because like I was in college when Days Are Gone came out, which is a phenomenal album, and then they put out their second album, which was like fine, but basically more of the same. And I'm always worried that like we're eventually gonna see them fall off. But then Women in Music Part 3 and now this, both excellent albums. I really enjoyed this album. Also Rostam, formerly of Vampire Weekend, and I feel like I get more from Haim these days than I do from Vampire Weekend, because now they're doing the whole jam band scene. And like, listen too, I enjoyed Father of the Bride a good deal, and whatever the one from last year was, I forget what that one was called. But I think this Haim record is really damn good. I am putting it on repeat. I think it's up there. Lord's Virgin. Don't ask what the white stuff is. This is an example where an artist puts out an album that is very much in line sonically with a prior album they did that is one of my favorites of theirs. And in theory, I should love this album. And then that's kind of it. I thought it was fine. I do remember the one song that interpolates Sugar How You Get So Fly though. But I think this is another example of what happened with McKinley and Lil Sims. At a different time, I might have clicked with this more. I thought it was just fine. I feel like that one's gonna get me in some hot water. But hey, I am who I am, who I am, who I am. You know, I'm gonna put it in, it's fine. K-pop Demon Hunters soundtrack. You could make the argument that this was the biggest album of this year. Or maybe not the biggest album, but it definitely had the year's biggest songs on it. I loved K-pop Demon Hunters. I think it was a phenomenal movie. And I think some of the songs on here are among the year's best pop songs. Like Soda Pop was great, How It's Done, and specifically for me, the final song, What It Sounds Like, I thought was like sublime. It was so freaking good. I'm excited to see what they do with future movies and installments in this IP. Even still though, I would recommend specific songs off of it. I don't know if I'd recommend the full album because I know there's like extra songs on there that aren't from the movie and covers too, and like those are fine. So I'm gonna put this in some excellent songs. Kesha with Period. Man, I don't even know what this one. I liked it. I thought it was fun. Like Boy Crazy and Joyride I thought were fun songs, but it just didn't click with me. That's all. I don't even have much more to say beyond that. I'm putting it in, it's fine. Justin Bieber's Swag. I was thinking about this recently. Justin Bieber is kind of like Maroon 5 because they're both artists that in a perfect world would just be making R&B music, but have been kind of shoehorned into making more basic pop music for most of their careers. This is the first time I think Justin's really been able to do the R&B stuff along with Dijon and McGee. There's even a song on here, I think it's an interlude, where a guy tells Justin Bieber that he's black.
On this album right here, I can hear the soul.
Thank you.
Your soul is black.
Thank you.
Your skin white, but your soul black, Justin.
But you know what too? There are some good songs on it. I think in part like Justin Bieber wants to do the R&B stuff because I think he's good at it, like more than you would think. Like that one record from 2013, Journals or whatever it's called, I think that's like considered his best. And this one, I did enjoy a good number of songs off of it. The one highlight I think of is Too Long. That was my favorite one. I'm gonna put this in some excellent songs. Clips's Let God Sort 'Em Out. How about I Sort You Out into Album of the Year? This was such a freaking good album. And it's like good for the reasons you would expect because it's like Clips rapping about how good they are at life and then Pharrell doing a bunch of good beats and all the guests doing good work as well. But it's also like very emotional in places that you wouldn't expect. I'm thinking of the opener specifically. It's just a phenomenal record and it's very cool to see them back in action. And yeah, really enjoyed that record. Alex G's Headlights. I'm trying to remember because apparently this is his major label debut, which is funny because I thought his album from 2019 was his major label debut. I don't know why I think that. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm just dumb sometimes, you know? Who's to say? But I enjoyed this Alex G record for all the same reasons I enjoyed past Alex G records. His songwriting is excellent. The really intimate production is very nice. I think he's just a great songwriter top to bottom. I'm gonna put this one in full listen. Alex Warren's You'll Be Alright Kid. Okay, listen, you know how there was a bit of time this year when we were all talking about the stomp clap, hey music, and like whether it would be revived? It was right here. It was right here the whole time. Alex Warren is bringing back the stomp clap. And I know you might be like, what do you mean? Because like Ordinary isn't necessarily stomp clap. Listen to some of the songs off of this. This is like Lumineers and American Authors and those bands tied in with a good dollop of contemporary Christian music. Alex Warren seems like a fine guy, like he seems nice, but I don't click with his music at all. I really don't. I am putting it in, not for me. Don't tap the glass. Don't tap the glass, don't tap the glass. This new Tyler record was great. I liked how off the cuff it felt. You know what I mean? Like it just felt like he wanted to put something out, wanted to get people moving, and I think he succeeded with that. It was a very nice change of pace from Chromacopia and Call Me If You Get Lost, which felt more like intentionally made, you know, eras, if you will. This is just, it's a bop of an album and he's just putting it out and he's gonna let people enjoy it how they want. I like how Tyler can embody both sides of that musical dichotomy and I want him to do it more from here on out. I'd love to see more off-the-cuff projects from him. I'm gonna put this in on repeat. Quadeca's Vanisher Horizon Scraper. This was the first full-length project by Quadeca I had checked out, and I really enjoyed it. The dude's got a good ear for production and for songwriting. I did see that there were some people on Twitter who were starting to give him shit about his style and like complaining about it. But like, let's also be real, those people were on Twitter and they should stop. This was a lovely album, very like sailor-esque, very nautical themed album in a lot of ways. One of the songs, I think it was Monday, makes me think of Quadeca on a gondola, the Quagondola, if you will. I am going to put this in full listen. Ethel Cain's Willoughby Tucker, I'll Always Love You. It is so nice to see Ethel Cain back, except for that one album from this year, but I'm not paying attention to that. It's so nice to see her back doing her thing. Because here's the thing, I know she blew up from Preacher's Daughter and specifically American Teenager, which is like a well-written pop song, but like to me, the best Ethel Cain songs are the ones that have hooks, but really let it sprawl and grow and diminish and really build out these soundscapes. I'm thinking of like Thoroughfare, Sun-Bleached Flies, A House in Nebraska, Ptolemaea. Willoughby Tucker is very much in line with that style, where it's like there are hooks and there are things to like latch onto, but it's just such a beautifully desolate album in terms of how it evolves and grows and transforms throughout its runtime. It's a beautiful, beautiful album that just lets you sit with it. I am going to put this in on repeat. I also want to take a second to say too that if you are planning on watching my top 10 albums video that I do in the near future, just because I've listed an album here on repeat doesn't mean it could not be an album of the year at some point. There's like a whole week or two left of the year to go. Lots can happen, we'll see. Before we continue, here's a relevant clip.
I heard that J.I.D. is people who don't really know you like that, and then Jed is for like the whole team. So what is it for real?
It's really both of them for real.
All right, so it's cool. We say Jed.
Yeah.
Jid's God Does Like Ugly. I caught this way later in the year than I wanted to. I'm a fan of Jid. I think he's great. I think this album is quite good. It also has one of the best lines about like fans wanting to be record execs more than fans or something like that. I'm also thinking there was the song Wholeheartedly, and I think he sings on it. He's got a nice voice. I'd like it if he did a bit more singing. I would like that. I'm gonna put this in full listen. Nina Geraci's I Love My Computer. Oh, remember what I said about Jane Remover and like that like very abrasive and like distorted and warbled electronic pop music? Nina Geraci might have had the best album when it comes to that style. It is such a freaking good album, iPod Touch and F My Computer. Like there are so many good songs on it and it's so representative of someone who grew up in that early digital age and was trying to find themselves in that time. Ooh, am I gonna do this right now? I think I'm gonna put this in Album of the Year territory. It is that damn good. Again, phenomenal record. Dijon's Baby. This was also really damn good too. I was thinking recently because Dijon works with Justin Vernon a good deal. He was even on Sable Fable. Justin Vernon said that there may not be a Bon Iver album going forward. I feel like Dijon might be like the next continuation of Bon Iver's sound, like very communal, very warm, very inviting, but also like distorted and very willing to play with soundscapes and textures in that way. I think this was an excellent album by Dijon. I think he was great in one battle after another. I'm gonna put this in on repeat. I could also see this getting up to Album of the Year in the next week or two. Like, I'm still mulling it over. Chance the Rapper's Starline. I did a whole deep discog dive on Chance recently, and you know what? I thought Starline was a really damn good album. It's nice to see Chance back in form again, but also with like a wearier, more mature and thoughtful side across, not to say that like what he had been doing before wasn't thoughtful, it was, but it's like he's really in like a new phase of his career, and I'm excited to see where he goes from here. The middle of the album sags a bit too much for me to put it in on repeat, but I'm definitely putting it in full listen. It's worth, trust me, it's worth your time. You know I've matured because I have not made a I love my wife joke. Audrey Hobart's Who's the Clown? Audrey Hobart is the co-writer for a lot of Gracie Abrams' stuff, and she's responsible for co-writing like I Love You, I'm Sorry, and That's So True. So she's done some of her biggest hits. So if you listen to this album, you'll find that it's very much within that like songwriting style. The thing for me is that Audrey Hobart is like Gracie Abrams for millennials, which is fine. That's definitely a market to serve. But every time I listen to her music, I'm flooded with visions of avocado toast and the millennial whoop. I'm gonna put this one in It's Fine. Conan Gray's Wishbone, I thought this one was fine too. Like, he's talented and I enjoyed the production enough on the record, but like, it just didn't stand out to me all that much. I didn't make that deeper connection with it. Though I will say, Vodka Cranberry, very good song, and especially that high note he hits towards the end. That's excellent. I'm gonna put this in It's Fine. Deftones' Private Music. I feel like I should enjoy Deftones on the whole more than I do. I've heard their records for sure. I've heard White Pony. I know that they're good, but there's just not been like that click moment for me. I don't think Private Music was that click moment, but there are still some damn good songs. Also, the record on the whole sounds excellent too. This is another one of those like heavier records that just sounds so crisp and beautiful, like way more than you would expect. Ectasis and Souvenir and Milk of the Madonna specifically, Chino Moreno's voice sounds damn excellent on that song. I'm gonna put this one in Some Excellent Songs. Leve, A Matter of Time. I have a weird relationship with Leve. Not personally, like I don't know her personally, but like with her music, I think she does really good stuff. I think she has thoroughly nailed her niche. And I hate to sound like a fan who wants to be a record exec. I don't know where the hell she goes from here. Like, does she just keep making mid-century pop music for the rest of her career? Which is fine, but then at that point, she's just gonna become Michael Bublé, you know what I mean? Or like Josh Groban, which is fine. Again, that's a niche you can fill, but like, I'm seeing her fill out like Madison Square Garden, and it's like excellent. And it's like, I'd love to see her like branch out into new things or experiment with what her sound could be. And in fact, on this album specifically, the closer, Sabotage, where it brings in like some harsher strings and it juts in some more experimental sounds, I would love more Leve songs to sound like that. Until then though, I am gonna put this one in It's Fine. Wolf Alice's The Clearing. I remember really enjoying their last album from like 2 or 3 years ago, especially Last Man on Earth. I love that song. This new record I thought was on the whole okay. It didn't necessarily have like that long stretch of excellent songs, but it does have some good stuff throughout. I'm thinking Just Two Girls and Play It Out and White Horses. I'm feeling more positive on this one. I'm gonna put it in Some Excellent Songs. Then we've got Earl Sweatshirt's Live, Laugh, Love. Bro is looking auspiciously unk. I think this was nice. I think this was like some rap songs, but Earl's actually happy on it, which I thought was nice. And I think he's a talented guy and the production's a good time. I just didn't really have like a much deeper connection with it other than that. Like, I appreciated it. I thought it was fine. And so it's going in, It's Fine. Then we've got Nourished by Time, The Passionate Ones. Oh, this one was good. This one was such a freaking good record. It's like such a good mix of like bedroom pop and R&B, and it like knows when to be maximalist. It knows when to bring it in. It's just such a damn good record. It kind of reminds me of, I might date myself here, but it reminds me of folks like Amen Dunes and Magical Clouds. Like, it very much gives that kind of feeling to me. I really hope that this guy blows up in a bigger way next year or the years to come. I think he's very talented. I'm gonna put this one in full listen. Somber, I Barely Know Her. That's not me making the joke, that's literally the name of his album. This guy was getting a lot of flack, especially in the last couple of months of this year, with like getting his fans to bark for him and inviting teenagers up to dial their exes and roast them on stage. And now it's my time to rag on this guy, so here we go. Some of the songs are good. Some people were saying he's this generation's Jeff Buckley. I don't know what they're talking about, but I also just don't listen to people. I don't buy into like the whole this generation's this generation's that. The songs are good, like 12 to 12 and Back to Friends. They're good pop songs. And like, I don't know, we'll see what he does. Maybe once Harry Styles makes his comeback, this guy won't have necessarily a niche to fill, but like, I thought some of the songs were good, and I'm interested to see what he does from here. I also saw some people who were like, oh, he's gonna turn out to be like a sex pest. I don't like saying that about people. I don't like assuming things about people like that. That's not fun and that's not fair at all. I put this album in some excellent songs. I think some of the songs are excellent. Who would have thought? Hayley Williams, Ego Death at a Bachelorette Party. Oh, that didn't fill the whole screen. Hold on. Ooh, boy, this is album of the year material. I loved this record. It's funny too, because like I was expecting something more on the sinister side after like Petals for Armor and like that early stuff that she was doing as a solo artist. But this is a little bit more conventional, but it still plays to her strengths really well. And that incredible voice that she has, like it's so cool to see her continue to explore and do new things. I think this album is excellent, and I'm still very butthurt that I did not get a ticket for her tour that's coming next year. I'll get over it at some point, maybe when I'm dead. CMAT's Euro Country. This is interesting. I've seen a lot of people hyping up CMAT, and I checked out this album, and I think they have a good head on their shoulders. I think they know what they're doing when they hype this person up. If you haven't heard of her, she's basically Irish Chapel Roan. And there are some damn good songs on this album too that are like witty and funny and touching and just like any sort of emotion you'd want out of a killer singer-songwriter. Like Lord Let This Tesla Crash and Take a Sexy Picture of Me and the title track. It's really good stuff. I don't know if the album on the whole is like incredible, but there are enough good songs where I'm like, you should keep an eye on this person. I think they could be very big soon. I'm gonna put her in some excellent songs. Sabrina Carpenter, Man's Best Friend. Short and Sweet had the song Please Please Please, which was very like country inspired. And I feel like this album, Man's Best Friend, was like please times 3 times 12 or however many songs were on it. It's an interesting kind of album where like the hits are there. There are hits like Man Child and Tears and House Tour and the song where she does like a whoosh, whoosh, whatever that one was called. Nobody's Son, I think. The whole record I don't think clicked for me in the same way that Short and Sweet did, but I think it's nice to have albums like this that resonate on deeper levels and build those deeper connections with the fans and with the audience. I'm still very excited to see what Sabrina Carpenter does from here on out. I think I am gonna put this in some excellent songs though. It's just like, it's not at that level where I could say like the whole thing front to back is worth a listen. Big Thief's Double Infinity. I like Big Thief and I'm surprised I didn't click with this one more. You know what I mean? When it came out at least. Like, I know it's their first record as a trio. I know they did it at Power Station, which is like a lovely studio. There is very much like a fuller band feel to it, kind of like Bon Iver, but without like all the electronic elements. I don't know, this one just didn't necessarily click with me in the same way that like UFOF or Little Dragon, Big Mountain, I Believe in You. Is that what it's called? Whatever that one is called. It's got a long name, it's a double album. That's a good album. This one is fine too. I just didn't click with it on any deeper level, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm gonna put this in, it's fine. Then we've got Swag 2 by Justin Bieber. Why did this need to exist? It's not necessarily any worse than Swag 1. It's just more of the same. It's kind of like when Justin Timberlake did the 2020 Experience, and then the same year put out Part 2, which was basically more of the same, and it just felt worse all around. It's kind of like that. I kind of would want to say it's not for me, but I feel like its biggest sin is just simply being more of Swag, and Swag was in some excellent songs, so I would feel like a hypocrite if I put it in not for me. I'm gonna put it in, it's fine. I'm also thinking of like Speed Demon. Speed Demon is a good song. I like that one. Maruja's Pain to Power. Yeah, this one is going in, is this one a full listen or an on repeat? I'm gonna put it in full listen. It's a really beautifully made album. The sax on it specifically, like the sax lines throughout are so freaking nice and cool and sick and rad and neat. Like, I would highly recommend it just for the sax alone, but there's a lot of really powerful and emotive songwriting on it too. I'm very excited to see what these guys do in the future going forward. Then we've got 21 Pilots' Breach. 21 Pilots has been an interesting band for me this past decade. Like, I enjoyed Trench, I enjoyed Clancy. I'd even go to bat for some of the songs off Scaled and Icy, like Shy Away and The Outside, and even the one that does sound kind of like a Gap commercial. This new one, Breach, I thought was good, but I think I just need more time with it personally. I think it's good for the same reasons that all of the other 21 Pilots albums of the past half decade have been good. I just need more time with it, I think. But there definitely are some excellent songs on here, so I'm going to put this in some excellent songs. That's Showbiz, baby. Jade Pete has had a phenomenal year so far. A lot of her songs have been excellent. I think she's definitely a rising star in pop music. And that one song she did with Confidence Man is like really damn good. I highly recommend that song. And then I'd recommend stuff like Angel of My Dreams and Unconditional and Plastic Box and Lip Service as well. Lip Service does not get the love that it deserves, I think. I'm gonna put this one in full listen too. Then we've got Cardi B's Am I the Drama?
Last Christmas, I gave you my ass, but the very next day, you my best friend.
You know what blows my mind? This is her first album since Invasion of Privacy, all the way back in 2019. That blew my mind. I don't know why it's taken that long. There's probably reasons for it. I don't know, it's nice to have her back. I think she's fun. I think some of the songs here are good. I think some of them are that one where Lizzo sings the What's Going On hook, and I don't want to listen to that one ever again. But you know what, there's some good songs on here too. It's nice to have her back. Yeah, I'll put this in, it's fine. Then we've got Wednesday's Bleeds. Wednesday is an interesting band to me where it's like they interface with a lot of artists I like and they make a lot of music that I do like, and yet I don't like outright love them as much as I would think I would given how I know me, but they're definitely talented and there are some good songs on this one. I'm specifically thinking of Elderberry Wine. That's like an excellent, excellent jam. I'm gonna put this in some excellent songs. Oh boy, it's time everyone. It's time to get killed by geese. This is going in Album of the Year territory. I think this is an excellent album. This was the final band of this year where everyone was debating if they were gonna bring back real rock and roll. And honestly, I don't care about that much. I just care about good music. These guys make great music. It's interesting too to see them adapt and evolve what they were doing on 3D Country, which I think is a more immediately accessible album. But what they were doing on here, I think was just so excellent across all of the songs. Trinidad, Taxes, All Pays Do Cocaine, Long Island City, Here I Come. It's just a damn good record and I'm very excited to see what they do from here. I think they have a very promising career ahead of them. Oh, and did you think I was done? Did you think I was done? Did you think I was playing around? Did you think this was a game? No way. Sydney Sprague's Peak Experience, that's also going in Album of the Year. I think Sydney Sprague is one of our best songwriters working today. It is criminal that she does not get the attention that she deserves. Her last album was one of my favorites from the year that it came out, and her new album is one of my favorites from this year. Funny how that works. Time, loving things, meaning, passion. I just think it's damn good songwriting, front to back. Like, it's like what Tom Bryan says about Taylor Swift. It's like, you've got to respect the craft when you see it. And the craft is all over this new Sydney Sprague album. Highly recommended. Oh, and then Olivia Dean, The Art of Loving. You know what I said about Leve? And like, you know, she has her style nailed down, but I don't know where else she goes with it from here. I feel the opposite about Olivia Dean. I think she has a style nailed down, but there's so much more she could do with it. Like, it's very much like retro pastiche, R&B, soul pop music, but like, she could do more. She's got such a good emotive voice. I think she was even on a song with Sam Fender earlier this year as well. And I think this album is really damn good and definitely a strong showing from someone I want to see on the pop charts many more times this decade. I'm gonna put this one in full listen. Then we've got Young Thug's UI Scooty. The one thing I remember from this album is the song where he says the N-word with the hard R, and there's a clip of a streamer who is like bored by the song up until that point, and then all of a sudden gets very turned up by hearing the N-word with the hard R.
I'm calling my ops, they better not play with me, nigga.
And that's all I'm gonna say about that. Except I will mention I did listen to the rest of the album. It's not for me. I'm not basing it off of that one song. Then we got Doja Cat's V. Doja Cat's been hopping around so many different eras lately, and I like that shape-shifting aspect about her. I think that's also maybe a reason why this album didn't do as well as some of the past ones, but there are some damn good songs on here. Like, I'm thinking Jealous Type and then Amen. Like, really fun stuff. I'd love to see her dive deeper into like the weirder side of 80s pop production, like maybe more Depeche Mode, Pet Shop Boys. I think she could do really neat things in that space. But I would say for now, this one goes into some excellent songs. Mariah Carey's Here for It All. You know, Mariah Carey's a legend at this point, and she can really do whatever she wants, and nothing anyone says is gonna take that status away from her. And that's why I feel okay to say that this record was just fine. I will say though, the closing track has a nice fake out at the end where it changes time signatures, and that section is really nice. And also the song too with Anderson .Paak, that's a nice song too, but Yeah, I thought that one was just fine. Then Zara Larsson's Midnight Sun. I think the title track is excellent. Like, it's definitely the most I've enjoyed a Zara Larsson song since like Lush Life. I think the rest of the album's okay, but like the strength of that one song is strong enough that I'm gonna put this in It's Fine. Taylor Swift, The Life of a Showgirl, and already a war is broken out in the comments. I did a reaction to this over on Patreon and Nebula when it came out. I'm gonna be real, I do still like it. I think it's her best album since like Folklore, but I'm also the kind of person who didn't really care for Midnights, and then I thought Tortured Poets was a little bit better. I'm not gonna say the whole album is amazing. There are definitely duds like Cancelled and Wood, but like Fate of Ophelia, I think, is one of her best singles in a while. Ruin the Friendship is great. The title track that closes out the album. Like, she's still got chops as a songwriter. There's still good stuff on here. And I know that the discourse around this is very toxic, but I'd rather stay true to myself and acknowledge when good music is being made. I'm gonna put this in Some Excellent Songs. Osama-sun Psychotic. This was a similar case to the Ken Carson record, where there were just a good number of songs that I thought were a lot of fun. I know they're both disciples of Playboi Carti, but they also share a lot of sonic elements with like Jane Remover and Nina Geraci that like it's very easy for me to cross over and enjoy what they do as well. I'm thinking specifically on his album of songs like Victory Lap and Getaway, which have like beats that just tickle my cochleas ever so sweetly. I'm gonna put this one in Some Excellent Songs, right next to Taylor Swift. The Last Dinner Party from The Pyre. This band just continues to do really good stuff. They're more like the UK version of Haim in that way, where they're just consistently good and always putting good stuff out. I'm gonna put this in full listen. Tame Impala's Deadbeats. I guess I'm out here defending albums that everyone else was lukewarm on. I thought this was a good time. I know some people weren't fans of the club-centric sound he was going for, but I was thinking about this. I think it's just a natural continuation of what he's been doing for the past decade. Like, it's very much music to dance to, made by someone who does not go to where dance music is. It's like an introvert's reimagining of what dance music is, and I think that's fascinating. Like, Currents did it with like the more psych rock oriented stuff, then Slow Rush was more disco, and now this is more for the club. I think there are good songs on here, for real. Like Loser and Dracula and Mild Ways, and I know one of the songs has a Family Guy reference, but let me offer this. Funny. I'm not taking my sneakers off. I'm Some Excellent Songs. Demi Lovato's It's Not That Deep. It's cool to see Demi go back to a more pop sound like this. I know some people thought this was her reheating Charlie's Casserole, but I thought there were some really good songs on here, like Fast and Kiss. Kiss specifically, I thought was a damn good song. I'd love to see her do more stuff like this. I'm gonna put her in Some Excellent Songs. Lily Allen's West End Girl. Hey, David Harbour. 2 More Days. This was searing. This was like the most searing divorce album I've heard since Beyonce's Lemonade, honestly. And also I think it's her strongest album in a good while. She is so witty, and it's so nice to, I mean, not nice because it's about a divorce, but it's like, but it's really powerful to see her balance that wit with genuinely devastating subject matter. You know what I mean? It's definitely better than what she was doing in the 2010s with like Sheezus. Remember Sheezus? I am a little skeptical to see how this will hold up in the months and years to come, because I think we're all still kind of like processing the fact that it's such a tell-all about her former relationship. But for now, I'm gonna put this one in full listen. Ian's 2005, I'm gonna put in Not For Me. The XXL freestyle meme was funny, like the damn I'm on my Britney shit, here I go again. But I don't really know what you would go to this guy for that isn't being offered by other rappers. Like, if maybe you have another take on it, and if you do, let me know, but I don't know. I just don't click with this one, really. It's a Not For Me. Psychedelic Porn Crumpets with Pogo Rodeo. This is Australian psychedelic rock, kind of in the realm of like early King Gizzard and even like early Tame Impala. If you like that stuff, you should definitely check out this album. I had never really paid too close attention to these guys, and this record frankly blew me away. I'm gonna put this album in Album of the Year. I think it's that damn good. It's our town, everybody scream, by Florence and the Machine. This is like Florence making an album specifically for me because it has Aaron Dessner on production, who is one of my dads and my best friends. There's also like Danny L. Harrell on it and James Ford, but it's also like such a raw and emotive album from her. Like, she's definitely aggressive and leaning into like a more aggressive feeling when it comes to the music. I think this is her best album in a while, and I'm gonna put it in full listen. Danny Brown, Star Stardust. It's Danny going to some of the people I've mentioned in this video, like Jane Remover and Quadeca, really younger internet-based acts to give a new spin on his production, and I think it's really cool. I don't think the whole album hits for me personally, but there are definitely highlights worth checking out. Copycats and Book of Daniel and Lift You Up and I Love My Life, but it's spelled all like internet speak. I'm gonna put this one in Some Excellent Songs. Ali X's Happiness Is Going to Get You. I remember when I used to do album reviews, there was a very funny one I did about her album from 2020, Cape God. Wow. And I've enjoyed her stuff ever since. I think this one is like solid, like it's got some good bangers on it. I don't know if the full album necessarily clicks for me in the same way that that one did, where it was me doing yas all around my room. But for this album, I'll definitely say, yeah. Just one guy though. I'm not gonna like put multiples of myself up everywhere. I'm putting it in It's Fine. Rosalia's Lux. You know what? I feel bad because I didn't give this album any specific award when I did my awards video, but I also don't know what award I would give it. It's just such a towering record. Like, it's so beautifully made, and Rosalia is such a freaking professional at what she does. Such a gorgeous voice, so many different collaborators, so many different languages. It's such a worldly album, and I absolutely love it. I do miss the more aggressive production from Motomami a little bit, but it's cool to see her giving us different dimensions like this. It's a very good time, right up in Album of the Year territory. Then FKA Twigs's Eusexua Afterglow. I think it was meant to be, or it started out life as the deluxe of Eusexua, and then it turned into its own thing. I like it about as much as I like the first Eusexua. I think it's got some good songs on it. I'm thinking of like Love Crimes and Cheap Hotel and Hard and Lost All My Friends. Like, it's definitely like a good continuation of that sound that she was doing. And if you haven't checked this out, but you liked Eusexua, I would recommend this as well. I'm gonna put it in the same tier as Eusexua. I'm gonna put it in Some Excellent Songs. And then we've got our last one for this roundup, 10tricks Point Never's Tranquilizer. I'm the kind of guy who likes 10tricks Point Never, but more usually when he's doing things for other people. So like film scores with the Safdie brothers or production work for The Weeknd. Really, I just want him to make another Echo Jams. But I did really enjoy this project from him. I know it's based on like sample CDs that he found on the Internet Archive, and I like when he does that, when he pulls from these like retro underground sources to create these really beautiful and lush soundscapes. Like, it's a really beautiful record that he puts together, and it's the most engaged I've been by one of his albums in a good while. I'm gonna put this in full listen. And there you have it. That is just over 100 albums from 2025 ranked. Let me know your thoughts on these albums. Let me know if there are any like big ones that I just completely missed and if you would recommend them. Let me know about all that sort of stuff. And you know what? Just so that I cover all of my bases, I'm gonna add in a placeholder for any albums released in December. I'm gonna make a tier specifically for these albums. They may as well have come out next January.